Here we are again. Here's what my scans are looking like. AUUD, I don't know why it has so much volume. It has 19 million shares. Everything else is under a million, which is crazy. It's the only real low float that's moving right now. Um, so I'm guessing that the attention or something is somewhere else. But man, 39% up. Most of the rest of the days we've seen at least one 100% mover. So we're going to see how things play out with AUUD and kind of do our due diligence and see why it has so much volume in the small caps. Let's switch over here. Went up to a high of 421 this morning. It's giving back about $2. Let's jump over to the news this morning. So OpenAI has two kinds of deal making, and they're lopsided. Okay. TSMC profit beats jumping record. Gold climbs to record on U.S.-China tensions. Salesforce rises after forecasting revenue above 60 billion by 2030. Oil rises as Trump says India will stop buying from Russia. Nestle stock soars on sales rebound plan uh, for 6,000 job cuts. United Airlines stock falls despite upbeat guidance. U.S. and Canada weigh rival of Keystone XL pipeline in trade talks. Payroll platform deal valued at 17.3 billion. India's Wipro beats second quarter revenue view. So I'm not seeing any of the bigger stocks like Tesla or anything up here, but I do see OpenAI up there on the main front. All right. So let me go out here to understand what's going on there. Don't really see it. All right, so since AUUD, oh, we need to do what is AUUD? That's what I was coming over here for. Why are you only up 40 something percent, 30 something percent? What? What? I don't know what this is talking about. I just want to see the profile. Okay. Audio Inc., a AI technology company, develops AI platform for radio and podcast markets. The company's flagship product is Fader, which enables consumers to listen to various AM, FM radio station with commercial breaks, as well as to podcasts and content comprising new artists discovery, curated music stations, and music podcasts that allow hosts to play full tracks within the episode. The company was formerly known as Clip Interactive LLC and changed its name to Adia Inc. in November 2019. Adia Inc. was incorporated in 2012 and is headquartered in Boulder, Colorado. All right. And it's news from today. Let's see. ADIA announces new corporate overview on company website, which I don't really know why that would be something that would spark that move, but it is. So let's see. Press releases. Yeah, new corporate overview on the company website is all I'm seeing. And they have a proposed business combination. So I don't know. That just let's just go look at the news then, if that's all that they're showing us right now.
Well, United Airlines earnings just crossing the wire. For more, we're bringing in Yahoo Finance's Praz Subramanian. Praz.
Yeah, Josh, how you doing, man? Yeah, so stock a little bit up higher here in after-hours trading. So we saw a slight revenue miss, 15.2 billion versus 15.28 expected, but an EPS beat of 278 versus 266. So you'd like to see that. Q4 guidance better than expected at $3 to $3.50 range there, better than the less than $3 that was expected. Full year guidance, we're going to hear more about that on the call apparently. Last quarter they guided to $9 to $11 in EPS for the full year. So what's driving the gains here? It's premium. United premium cabin revenue rose 6% year over year in Q3. Revenue from basic economy only 4%, and loyalty revenue, that's like your miles and credit cards and all that stuff, up 9%. So that's where their rival Delta saw a lot of growth. So that's sort of where United is leaning in more on. And we also heard about how they're going to be launching their first Starlink-enabled flight was today.
So Praz, you look at the stock, it hadn't done much. I mean, heading into the print, it was up around 5-6% this year. The street, very bullish on this name. I'm just looking at more than 90% of analysts have a buy on this one. A lot. This is like NVIDIA-like love for United. On the call, Praz, I'm curious, what are you going to be listening for? What are the trends? What are the themes?
Well, it's funny. I mean, the high buy rating there across the street, but the stock was only up like 6-7% this year, right? So it's not like it's been a high flyer. Maybe they expect more action from the stock. So yeah, we'll hear more about on the call. The manager said they'll mention what their guidance will be for the full year. I think that'll be really important. We want to hear more about Newark, right? So Newark was a huge kind of a disaster for the company earlier in this year in the spring when they had the outages, ATC outages, things like that, staffing shortages. United said they had their best month last month, I believe, at Newark, one of the highest on-time percentages there. So they said that that's being repaired, that's fixed.
Pause that. Just got one to pop up. Let's see what this is. SOAR. SOAR. Just popped up. It says Valeto and M2I Global Advanced Development of Strategic Mineral Reserve Digital Infrastructure. On SOAR, it is up 25%. And yeah, so let's go look into SOAR here. With 5 million shares trade, well, just about going towards 5 million shares traded. Let's see what you got. All right, so Valeto Group Inc. Operates as a private aviation company in the United States. The company offers fractional ownership, aircraft management, jet cars, deposits, and charter programs. It also sells airplane and provides Vaunt, a software as a service subscription platform. In addition, the company offers Mission Control, a cloud-based software which provides a robust API-first solution, streamlining critical functions across flight scheduling, customer relationship management, and crew management. Valeto Group Inc. was founded in 2021 and is based in Chamblee, Georgia. Okay, so it popped up $3, popped up. Let me go look at the daily chart out here and see what it's playing around with. All right, so on our daily chart, we can see that it had a peak out here yesterday of 437. So that will be definitely an obvious peak. It's going to be a peak daily level. Let's see what else we got. We got a couple peaks back here. I'm going to duplicate this. I don't know where it is in comparison to this, but we'll see. Couple peaks right there. Let's keep going back. Duplicate. Okay, keep going back. Beyond that $6, I mean, let's see what the catalyst for it. It's kind of on the fringe. We'll see what happens, but it did pass up AUUD as far as let me jump over here to the watch list. Where is my watch list? Give me my watch list. All right, so SOAR up 26%. AUUD came all the way back down from like 70% up to 22%, gave everything back, and now SOAR is leading the day with 4 million shares traded. And so we'll see what SOAR wants to do. But it's leading the day now, and so it may be the spark today for small caps, but we'll see. It's kind of on weaker catalyst. A lot of times this is Thursday, and then Friday, the end of the week, catalyst matters a little bit less, but we'll just see. We want to be safe out here too. Right now, both of these are 20% strugglers to me, so we'll keep watching. But it did make a high. Let's look at where those levels were I placed on the daily chart. So we have, let's see, I think that 648 was the last one that I placed. We have 430 something. Okay. And then we have a little bit of some type of structure here. 444. It's a little steep here, but we'll see if it actually continues to hold it down. Pumping right down to that daily level. That was a peak daily level from the daily. Just tapped it on the 385. And only up 23% now. 5 million shares traded. So these are 20% strugglers. It did close with ATR of 40 cents yesterday. So not just the smallest ATR. Point of control right now at the 403 on the 1 minute. On the 5 and 15 minute, it's at the 389 and 384. So let's go ahead and mark that up. Definitely a little tighter range in here. So that's 4 and then down to 389. 389 there. Oh, 384, my bad. 384. So it is a peak level right here. We'll see how that ends up moving. Got to make a decision. It's got a $4 whole dollar level. A little bit of structure here that people could get excited on, but I'm not sure. Yesterday I did take a loss on S-Dot, but I did something different. So yes, I took a loss on this one. Where's my auto? Took a loss on this one. I was watching it in here, looking for another curl. It did go up there, but it didn't have any structure to cause me to really get in. And so I tried it down here, and it ended up just selling off. So this is what happened on the first day of the month of this month. And this is how I lost $300 on the first month, because I held and it just kept going down. Now, one thing that I did learn from it was the two losses were similar, because at the first of the month, there was a unclear catalyst. It was like is this a good catalyst or not? And I had got in and it just kept going down. And the same thing with this one. It was like, is this a strong? Well, no, it didn't have a catalyst. It was just on sentiment. So there was some unclearness in here and it just kept fading down. So I'm so glad I sold up here where I sold out at. I can't remember what, I think it was like here somewhere, 11 something around here that I sold out, because look where it would have went. And I had 100 shares. So 100 shares from here, I only lost 69 bucks, but look at the, if I would have held, how far it would have dropped on me. Down to 8s, all the way. I mean, that's a nice $4 chunk right there. $3 chunk right there on 100 shares. That's 300 bucks, which is what happened last time, except it happened a little bit faster on that other one. It kind of did some quicker dumps. But yeah, so I'm not really in defensive mode today. I'm really just looking for opportunities, because Wednesday has turned out to be my worst day statistically with hump day, because I don't know. Maybe I just gotta find something with some reason to go up. But during pre-market, Wednesdays have been a crusher. But we'll see if we can find anything. Soar, let's see. So it came out of this little level sitting on top of the box of $4 flat. AUUD still not doing much. Okay. Soar forming another outlier. So held the top of this box. Point of control is still at 403. We'll see if this thing wants to push up to 438. Wow, right back into the box. Right back to that old trend. Okay. So this is a new outlier here. Oh, wrong button. Wrong button. What I meant to do was this. All right. All right, so right back into the box, pretty much tested the whole box there. And now we got two little verification outliers here to see what it wants to do. It's still a 20% struggler, up 25%. Okay. And like I said from yesterday, I'm not changing anything because of the loss, because I know, I mean, that's what's been, consistently making me money. Finding structure. Well, first of all, doing due diligence on the profile, seeing where these things are, what's the catalyst. Secondly, finding structure, um, and finding these pockets of high volume is what I'm looking for. And pretty much all of my trades have been above $5. So these little cheaper ones, sometimes they don't hold up the way that you want to, or maybe they do, but they spike down so big because people are oversized into them, and so they can make even bigger moves down before recovering. So they can hurt you a lot, and then maybe it comes back up. But like on S dot over here, if I would have just held, that wouldn't have been good. Now, even though it met the criteria and all of that, if I just held, that would have hurt me for sure. All right, so SOAR is under 20%, up 18% now. Took a dive out of the box through a peak daily level, coming right to this next peak daily level. You can see a little bounce there. And this fallout was from the 85 down here to the 60. So it's about a 20-cent fall down there, falling right back into this old downtrend. We'll see if it continues to dump out as it comes back up and tries to test this trend. AUUD pretty much flat and going lower. Now it's going below. So now we don't have anything above. Well, once this crashes out, we won't have anything above 20% here. Let me go back to the scanner, my scan here. So this is the scanner. We got AUUD 20%, SOAR 18%. Very kind of dry scan, but that's just telling me, hey, be patient. Something's coming. Be patient. All right, so let me switch back over to this one. Just chill out. Chill out. All right, so we did get a crackdown of this peak level, stopping right there on it. And now we see it coming back and testing this original little idea of the downtrend. Bottom of this is 366. Point of control has not moved yet. There are some nice top and tails on both the 5-minute and 15-minute. Let's flip over here to see that. So this is the 5-minute on this one, and then the 15-minute. Big old top and tail, big old top and tail, and it has a little bit of a body right here at 390s. I don't know what it's trying to do there, but we'll see. All right, let's jump back over. Another little test of this level. Still underneath this peak daily level. I wonder, is it going to use this as some type of ceiling? So we got a couple ideas on the chart, starting to kind of hold within this little zone level, right under this previous point of control. Coming back over, or coming back up to 20% up at this 380 level. Bottom side of this green candle is 372. So a 375 breakdown may send it on down. We'll see. Looking for more energy. 365 down here. Now, no matter what price that I trade, the structuring is the same. And finding the points of control is the same. Using the 3 time frames, whatever your 3 time frames are, just using those to find a point of control, concentrated area of trading. Then structurally, just using what you see. Now, the reason that I kind of wait on these structures is because different platforms may show candles differently. So I see, hey, is this a respect level that, because I know other people are trading this, they may be trading with interactive brokers, they may be trading with other things. I want to know, hey, is this thing, being respected by a majority of people? And so far, we can see, yep, it's been a turnaround points at these levels that I'm seeing as well. Now, TOS is one of the best charting platforms for a free platform, right? So, you know, I'm kind of like, okay, I kind of trust these charts a little bit more because they do show the wicks. You know, a lot of platforms, a lot of even traders, they'll have the wicks taken off, and I'm like, nah, I need to see where that war zone went. I want to see my wicks. But it did break down. This was a peak level, and now it is on a the ATR high from that'll be from from today, ATR high. So now coming down there, and it has, you know, back up here to 390, which would be what, about a 40-cent move, or a little less than 40 cents back up there, and just kind of riding this little trend down. Don't know if it's going to get separation. Don't know if it can actually get back over this peak level. But yeah, we're going to see. Oh, let's go ahead and move this. Since it's pushing down, we'll see if this is a new hold point. It's only up 13% at this point, so definitely not impressive at all. I know majority of traders are looking for something that's up 20 to 30%. They're looking for momentum, and something being this close to 10% just isn't what people look for. It's not even what shorts look for. Like, shorts would be way more interested to be buying AUU D up here around this top and tail wick and getting a $2 drop than, you know, because it was up what, 70-80% up there. Well, we just looking around, looking at the different TV stations. Low of this was 350. AUUD. Very tight range in there. Man, I bet something's gonna pop up and blow both of these out the water. They'll be like, hello. So 350. Only up 9% now, 7 million shares. AUUD just sitting flat. All right, let's go look at some more news over here. See if we can intake some more information. Trump on U.S.-China trade war. You're in one now. White House sends mixed messages as Besant meanwhile suggests the tariff truce could be extended. Any big names out here? I'm just not seeing like Teslas or anything like that. What's the overall market doing? Overall market has still been working its way up. We saw this yesterday, nice little fall off into lunchtime, and then a whole recovery. It keeps just popping back up to these highs around 25, but I don't know, maybe it needs to go lower. I don't know what it's trying to do. All right, so we already watched that.
Brilliant. Yahoo Finances.
About that too.
Let's see what else we got. SOAR just continue to go down.
I once asked Mike Novogratz, I said, is the Bitcoin market going to be as big as the gold market? Said yes. In fact, he cut me off. He was so great. Yes, absolutely, done. Are you that optimistic and confident?
Yeah, love Mike, friends. I'm not sure.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because I think it's going to take a little bit longer until we get there, till we can really compare to gold. Now, some might say you're absolutely crazy, right? Bitcoin is going to overtake gold. Yeah, it will in the future, potentially, yes. Particularly if we see clear regulation, Clarity Act is in place, market structure bill is in place, right? We see tokenization coming. We see Ethereum kind of proliferating all over. We see Bitcoin adopted as a payments platform. Yeah, 100%. But I think until then, I'm still kind of more bullish on gold.
Let me ask you, I'll get you on this. Let's say, Maya, you're hanging out with friends and family down there in Miami, and they say, Maya, what should I invest in? Should it be Bitcoin or Ether? And I can only choose one. What would you tell them?
Tough question. I would say probably Ethereum, because it is a...
How come? Why you choose that one?
It's a yield-bearing infrastructure, right? It's a programmable money infrastructure. So Bitcoin is a digital gold, and Ethereum is actually useful. It is being used today, we like it or not, right? It is in infrastructure on Wall Street at the moment. Every largest institution on Wall Street is piloting on Ethereum. And so it is something that is going to be useful. And I don't know if you saw an announcement this morning of Larry Fink saying they're building their own tokenization platform. JP Morgan yesterday announced they're putting in 1.5 trillion into security assets, right? And AI and infrastructure, right? That is all going to be connected onto digital infrastructure. And I think I would bet on things that are going to be used when it comes to that.
Let's keep on pumping on down. Has about maybe 40 cents
I
back
had an
up.
economist on the show recently who said, listen, as long as this government shutdown continues, the Fed isn't getting that hard data they want. And the longer it goes on, he says the greater the odds that at this next meeting they hold, they don't cut. I'm just wondering what you make of that theory. And if they didn't cut, how you think the markets might respond.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I buy into that. There's plenty of other data besides government data that the Fed can look into every day, every week. So I'm not so sure that they're just going to not do anything just because there's a bit of an absence. I mean, there's been a trend in the labor data for now, arguably 2.5 years. But it's been very clear now in the last few months, given all the revisions we've seen to the data, plus just some soft ADP data. And obviously, when we were getting the NFP data, that data were soft as well. So I don't think the Fed wants to surprise the market. Thus far, Powell in his term really hasn't, or at least not since COVID. So I wouldn't bet that the Fed's going to pause because of an absence of information. I think they'll just take the information they have that is known and act accordingly. And I think they're probably going to cut once more. Cut in October.
These companies.
All right, so AUD did a little raise out of here with 10 cents. Not anything crazy. SOAR, I mean, it's got, if it does move back up, I mean, it's got what, 30 cents of movement that it can do back to that point of control. And it has not drugged that point of control down yet. And still trading above this previous little downtrend that it was kind of sticking to. So breaking the norm there. Coming back up to the ATR high. Has about 7 million shares traded, coming back up to that previously what we thought was some type of uptrend. And 7 cents away from this peak level. It is a little bit higher price, but that percent gain, though, still being 13%. It's got a lot of work to do to draw eyes over here. All right, so AUD has a bottom value level that is trying to get back into the big value level right here at what is this, 278, but it is a grinder. Problem is, how fast will it go down versus the speed that it's going up? It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes just to move maybe 20 cents, 52, 55 up to like 75-ish, 20 cents. The fact that source slows down so much and then it'll get a couple pops and then just slows down. It's kind of telling. This top side up here. So at this point, top side is like right under what, 383. Bottom side, this bottom tick. Let's go and remark this. AUUD did throw down a candle twice as big as most of the ones that it made coming up here, down to the 260 with a bottom at 250. So at this point, SOAR is up 11%. What's the probability of it going back up to 20 or 30% at this point with the trading that it's doing? What's the equation for that, right? You look at how much range that it's done. So the first initial move was what, 322 up to about $4. So about $1 move on that first initial pop with a huge pullback. The next one was what, 372 up to 410. And it's got these levels up here now that it would need to fight through. Here at the 425, 415, all that. It's got to fight just to get back up to 20%. I mean, fight. So, but we are seeing some type of curling, but I just don't trust this curling because it's on low volume. You can look over here to the side where the original high level of volume is, and it's just little bitty peaks out here of volume, and I'm just not trusting that. Scent, it had a catalyst today at 6 o'clock. It says Scent TX strengthens infection prevention portfolio and with newly allowed U.S. patent covering 30 billion anti-pathogenic addressable market. Okay, well, it's only up 5%. They all got some work to do, but Nuke is $14. So I mean, not Nuke. Where'd it go? Scent is it's $4. We'll see. They need to get some more volume, man. AUUD making its way on back down under the 60s. Got a fall point at 346. SOAR popped off this level once, twice. Has a high up here of 360. I mean, but it's got a 7 cent move until it hits that wall. So I don't know what's going to be the reaction. It has held up. It's holding kind of flat around here. But I just don't know if other traders will be impressed by this move. And because of that not knowing, I'm like, let me just give it a minute. All right, let's jump back over here to the news.
Have raised tremendous amounts of money. In the case of OpenAI, have tremendous cash on the balance sheet in the case of NVIDIA. So they're kind of drawing the competitive lines, if you want to think of it that way. And I think that to some extent you have to strike while the iron is hot to do that. Pave the way for the future while you can. But at the same time, they're all, in the case of NVIDIA, they're also making multiple bets. Will they all work? No. Do we think we'll know that soon? Probably not. Maybe more like late 2026, 2027. But I'm not as concerned about it.
One of the arguments I hear that people who aren't that concerned about the circular investment deals might raise is that the capex that we're seeing right now by the hyperscalers is funded with cash for the most part.
Correct.
These are strong companies. But if the growth rate were to continue or even still slide a bit, eventually that would need to be debt funded. And historically speaking, when companies are funding things, big projects with debt, that's when you see the problems. I'm wondering if that's on your radar, and then separately, do you see the slowdown in growth of the hyperscaler CapEx build out? Do you see that growth rate coming down as an issue?
So, a lot to unpack there.
Yes.
I would say that, taking it backwards, I don't think we're going to see any slowdown in 2026. Again, we're still in that third, fourth, fifth inning. Where I get a little more concerned is when we really start to see AI adoption and usage, the incremental growth slow. That's going to be a signal to us that not as much capacity is needed. Now, we're not there yet.
So kind of flatlining at the 350 level on SOAR. Hasn't made a decision whether to break out or break down. 347 breakdown, 360 something breakout.
Thursday, October.
We got earnings reports coming out.
16th. We're going to start off on the earnings front. Earnings season in full swing here. We're going to be getting reports on Thursday from more banks and as well as Taiwan Semiconductor. Taiwan Semi announcing results for the third quarter. Analysts expecting TSMC to post a strong quarter, making about $33 billion in sales, driven by huge demand for AI chips and Apple's iPhone chips. And taking a look over at the Federal Reserve, another big batch of Fed commentary is coming our way on Thursday, including Fed Governor Stephen Miron. This is coming after comments from Miron on Wednesday. Miron saying he sees China trade tensions as another potential reason for interest rate cuts. And moving over to housing, we're going to be getting some fresh data on Thursday, including homebuilder confidence. Economists forecasting that number to climb to 33 in October, signaling that builders are feeling slightly more optimistic about housing market conditions than they were in the previous month, but that conditions are still weak overall.
Right. So we had a little bit of a bottom with somewhat of some type of uptrend, but we haven't found any downtrends yet on this one. Continues to hold this little uptrend, has a value level up here of the 278s on AUUD. You see a little end point of this value level here at 270. Previous high was at 275 or 274. SOAR giving up, going back under 10% as AUUD ends up holding its 20%. We see a little bit of trading going on right around this 275 level. It may end up moving the point of control down here from the 350s all the way up there where it sold off from. Just needs a little bit more volume. 22 million shares traded on this one, up 31%. Let's see if it fills this little gap here back to 267 before it gets ready to go. If it's going to go. I mean, it's on an uptrend. I mean, it may just break down, but it needs to fill this little gap. SOAR doing a double bottom down here on 346. Broke down a little uptrend, so we got a new uptrend here. If this is going to hold, it may just fall through this crack, but this is definitely a double bottom. It's up 9%. I just don't trust the percentage gain. So this is invalid. We'll remove that. It's too far away. This one, we'll remove that. And still, we can run into this and get knocked down again. Nuke still not getting the volume that it needs. And then AUUD made a move back down here. Looking like it wants to break down. ELWS, no catalyst. Popped up to 5. Yeah, that's super choppy. Needs some more volume. Okay, so this little level did not get broken down at the 344s, but just no volume, no movement. Need something dangerous to pop up. People may be sitting on the sidelines because of earnings, though, today. That's the biggest thing that I'm seeing that could be affecting the volume in the small caps. Even the volume in the large caps. SBFM popped up here. SBFM up 28% with 2 million shares traded. Let's see if it has any. It says Sunshine Biopharm launches cholesterol-fighting medicine Prevestian. Went up to $2.90. It's currently up 26%. So it's popped on. It's number 2 on the day as far as gainers behind AUUD. Went up to a high of 290. Let's go look at the daily chart for this one. Daily chart for this one, we got a peak level out here of 210. Let's get that drawn out there. Edit peak level. Peak daily level. Then let's back it on up. And looks like that peak level of 210 is right there. I must have previously seen it up here somewhere, but yeah, those are looking out of bounds. Let's continue to back it on up. We got our peak level there. Okay, so not a whole lot more. 210. All right. Well, this is a low float. It has taken the lead on the day as far as being a gainer, but it is, again, a 20% struggler. We'll see if it wants to continue up, but point of control right now, 244. 244 on the 1 minute. And where's the 5 minute is 243. So around 242, 243. All of them are right in this same little level, super thin little trend here. Looking at this uptrend, this is pretty steep here. We'll see what it does against that idea. And let's see, this is steep, pretty steep. Don't know what it wants to do there. Okay, can I please just take this to the right? Extend to the right, yep. Then it's got one here up to this level. Taking all the ideas into consideration until it starts proving itself. Until it starts proving that it wants to do something different. And it's only got like a couple minutes to really decide. 249. Previous body of this candle was at 257. Caught a little bit of rejection off that body. And then the body up here is 274. Almost 5 million shares traded on it. Up 30%. Point of control moved up with that candle, so a lot of volume just came in on that. Want to see what you're going to invalidate, my boy. Back to 26%. AUUD ended up going on down, breaking down that level. Then we see a little bit of test on both sides here. The new bodies of these candles are kind of settling around 250 and hasn't really tried to trade outside of these levels just yet. Bottom side of this is 238. Well, we've seen a couple wicks created here, so we'll see if it continues to wick out. About over 5 million shares traded now on this one. A lot of volume just came in down here. I don't know if those are buyers or sellers. We'll see if it breaks to one side. Okay. Coming up to that body. Yeah. Body at 250s. Getting a little, so this is going to be a new outlier, it looks like, out here. And this will be another little downtrend if it stays under this. It may want to break it high up there at 259. Just looking for the next outlier so we can kind of gauge what's going on. All right, so we have our top here. We'll mark that right down to our new little breakout level. Where does it want to invalidate? And this is the problem with a choppy stock going back and forth. It kind of validates, invalidates, validate, invalidate. We want to see something that continues to validate that is the motion that it wants to take. They're about the same price, AUUD and SBMF or SBFM. $242 breakdown will be the bottom side of this. Okay. So a little bit of respect on this little level, popping up there to the body of that candle. And then validation, invalidation. About to be the top of the hour here. On the close of this candle. Okay. So little pop breaking the previous candles. That's the first one that hasn't traded in within. And there is some validation of a downtrend back into this original structure here. We'll get rid of this one, move that, and we'll form a new one here. If it can hold. I don't know if it can hold. It's up 10 million shares traded now. And now that it's got a little bit more trading, as the structure gets bigger, it's kind of easier to map out the different ranges, the points of control, and all of that as it gets more trading. That's why a lot of times when we see those that have been trading earlier in the morning, it's easier to set structure up. But when they just pop during the middle of the day, like at 6:45, it's no structure. It's just, hopes and dreams. AUUD. It's going to end up catching up with AUD if it keeps trading like this. Pumping up here to that previous idea. All right. Another test and a little bit of breakout. So there's going to be another outlier here for a downtrend. If it doesn't break this high of 256, let's see what happens. Okay, that's another outlier there. Right there. 12 million shares traded. So this is a #1 low float mover on the day. Makes me just feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside with all this indecision. But the uglier the drawing is, look at how this drawing is. The uglier the drawing, the more indecision. It's like all these tests, all these validation, validation. It's like, nah, let me just chill. Plus, it is a lower price, so it may not hold like we think it will. Because think about it, the people that probably have a stop down here, a level like this, probably have 1,000 to, I mean, they could have 10. This is a cheaper one, so 10,000, 20,000, 40,000 shares, and if it drops, it's going to hit a nice little stop, stop loss. All right, so they pretty much invalidated this one, so we'll go ahead and remove that one. Try to keep the chart as clean as possible. This one is kind of out of range too. If it falls all the way down here, it's over with at this point. So I'm going to delete this one and keep on the maintenance. And this is the stops down here. If somebody has a huge size, that breakdown of 236 is probably going to rip down. Keeps touching that point of control. I know they don't want to see it past 225. That's where I would put my stop when I used to trade this price range, 220, like $quarter levels. So if it goes down to 225, it may get some motion. 227, there's 225 hitting all those stops. All right, so that invalidates this uptrend, but we still have a valid downtrend, 2 valid downtrends. And now that peak daily level, it's only 10 cents away from that peak daily level. And now it's only up 15%. So not even a 20% struggler anymore. Okay, let's see what's going on back over here at AUUD. I mean, I don't even know if that's a trend. This is just flat trading at this point. 26 million shares traded there. SOAR went on down about its business on down there, invalidated this, and actually ended up breaking down the previous level where it started from. We'll remove that. Broke this level down here at 323 and only up 5%, so that's a no-go. ENVB, what are you? Oh, that's a cheap one. It doesn't even have anything I would like to look at. Okay. Well, this is kind of how I play defense. There's some offensive stuff, but this is a, defensive fine structure. If it's not there, it's not there. No reason to push it. And if I do get in, be willing to sell out if I'm wrong. My risk per trade is set to $72, so I pretty much stay in that. I really don't lose, other than like if I just keep holding like I did on the first day of the month. But $72 is kind of like I risk that, and usually I get like a 3 to 4 to 1 of that. So it'll go ahead and jump up there and get me real quick. But this one's continuing to follow these downtrends down. I don't know how far it's gonna fall. It's about 7 cents away from that peak level down there at 12% up. 14 million shares traded down there. And like I said, this is where, like, when I was trading these price ranges, that 225, those $quarter levels is where I would place my stops. And so this would have been me getting ate up on this type of trade. And then I would have looked and said, okay, well, there's a peak daily level. Maybe it'll come back up to 225 and let me out. But that's not a good way to think. You know, be like, well, maybe there's a turnaround point. Maybe it'll save me. Yeah, I've learned that maybes get you killed. Maybe the tiger won't bite me. I'd rather just take it while I'm good. While the tiger is a kitten. So it came down there almost to that 210 level. The top side of this is 21, 22. Is it going to let them out at the 25? It did. It gave them a chance to get out there. Now let's continue back down. 15-cent pop back up for back holders to get out. $45, and we still can't do any outliers because this one is just in a heavy downtrend. It's like for the times that it does work out, like this time right here, that's just a absolute miracle for anybody to get out. Has 15 million shares traded on it. All right, well, looked around the market. I think today is going to be intraday trade for me. I'm going to keep my eyes open for intraday movers that can pay me at least 30 cents easily is what I'm looking for. And see if I can get something like that. All right, so it is back up to what, 32 at this little previous ideal of a downtrend. We'll see if they attack it at this level to get it back under 225. About to close this candle up in a little bit. I'll sit here for 4 more minutes and then I'm gonna get ready to go. Get out of here. Get ready for my intraday trades. Back to 225. Go ahead and crash it out. And this, even if I was holding, I would be so hopeful that it would reverse to the top here. After it recrossed 225, I'd still be holding. I'd be like, man, it got back up to 225. I said I was going to sell here, but nah, I'm good. It's definitely going to keep going. You know? Yeah. And you catch that next punch in the gut. All of my hopes and dreams, they'll come true on a $2 stop. Got a cup of coffee at the money at 326 on BIAF. BIAF, let's see what that's talking about. BIAF. Do not see this one yet. Let me drag it over here and see what the volume's looking like. It's a low float of 15%. Haven't seen it pop yet on mine. It's probably gonna pop here soon after the, TOS updates every 15 minutes, so it's probably gonna pop up there in a little bit. Bioaffinity Technologies announces notification of allowance for U.S. patent application for its diagnostic algorithm and test method for lung cancer. Boy, I had this. I must have looked at this before because I got a lot of stuff on the daily. Close at 271, is up here to 376. So that was a peak level right there. Let's go ahead and clean this off. Clear drawing set. We had a peak level 270 that is under right now, or not 270, 370. Had a previous little kind of gap or whatnot right up here to the fives, but I don't know how that's gonna do. It's only up 16%, so it hadn't even made it into the 20 percentile range yet. I'm okay with a slower day. It's okay. All right. SBFM. 15 million shares traded. And now is it going to do an outlier? Does it want to throw something up here towards this top? 232s. See where this candle closes. Can this be a new outlier? 15 seconds left. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I gotta get on down, man. Spend a lot of time looking at something I'm not even gonna trade. Call it. But I guess I demonstrated what I'm looking for on the things that I do want to trade, I guess. But threw a little wick out there to 233. That is an outlier. Let's see. As long as it holds that down, 233, go ahead and crash under, what is this, 229? So go ahead and crash out, big boy. You gave him 2 times to get out. Go ahead and give it to him. All right, so at this point, this is invalid. But we do have a little bit of this going on. So it's got room on this previous, if this is an idea, it's got room back to the 217s off of that previous outlier. BIAF looking like the most bullish one right now. Catalyst on the day and all of that, but we'll see. I'll circle back with y'all in the Discord. Discord is where we continue these conversations about, you know, small caps, any type of stock trading that we do, swing trading, dividends, crypto. Talk about all that in the Discord. Discord is free, so you can jump in there. But yeah, I'm gonna back off for now and come back real ready at the open. The thing is, on days that it's like high volume, TOS at the open freezes for me. It's like I'll see, and I know it's not the internet because I'm on really good internet when I'm at the office. I mean, I got good internet here, but it's like it'll pause, almost like it's halted. But I'll see the level 2 moving, and then like 3 or 4 candles, then they'll appear, like 3 of them at a time. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know it was doing that. And so I kind of just wait. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I just wait because if the platform isn't working reliably, I don't want to be, you know, because sometimes I see the level 2 and it's like, let's say if it's opens at $10 and the level 2 I see it says 13.45. I'm like, what? And I'm just seeing it frozen and it's at like 10 still, and then all of a sudden it pops up all the way up there and fills out the chart. I'm like, yeah, let me just wait. Let me just wait before I get my soul ripped out my chest. But let me get out of here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in for sure. I will be back on tomorrow pre-market. I may get to trade something today. I'm thinking today is going to be an intraday for me, intraday trade. But we'll see. We shall see. The topics for this week. So the beginning of the week was batteries and AI. And then it went to like, we thought it was going to be like soy and agriculture, but they kind of died super quick. That was just a Trump tweet. BIAF though is continuing to move up. This was the, I don't know what level that is. Oh, I guess I didn't label it. Edit. So this was a peak daily level. Guess I didn't label it. But yeah, that was a peak daily level up there that we had marked on a daily chart that is visiting right now. But yeah, I'm just going to take my time today. I'm already green on the week. I did give back a little bit of profit. So I'm okay. If this week doesn't want to be hot, I'm cool. But anyway, yeah, I'm out of here. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.